Hello and welcome to the next in our series of helping you to market your property business. This is called Property Marketing Live. My name's Andy Haynes. Delighted to say we've got Andy Phillips with us here today. And today we're talking about how you can automate some of the systems in order to make your job easier for keeping in touch with your clients. So how's this going to work, Andy?
Well, basically, we have when we're doing these lives, we do get sort of some queries coming through and things like that, and some of them are just about some of the jargon and some of the things we talk about, because some people don't use this stuff at all. Some people have been using these things for years, and one of the things we got through the other day was just like, what's an autoresponder? Because I mentioned autoresponders, so I'm going to go quickly through basically what an autoresponder is. Because a lot of people do know what it is, some people don't know what it is, but I want to give you a bit of an insight into how you can actually use autoresponders within your property business as well, and why they're important, because they can do things like follow-up and things like that. So what we're going to do is I've got a little presentation here. So we're going to talk about email autoresponders, and obviously the first thing we need to sort of look at is exactly what an email autoresponder is. So the idea of an autoresponder is it's a tool which we can use, which sends out automated emails. So an email autoresponder auto responds to actions. So things that are, you can make them personal, so you can put people's names in them. That comes out of a database. So if you're sending a bunch of emails out to a lot of people, then it can have their first name and other information site, website that they put in. Any information you've got, you can put into an email that goes out. So it's a tool that allows you to send automated, timely, and personalized emails. So it's quite a handy thing if you've got a database and you want to send out a lot of emails to, say a few hundred people or a few thousand people. It will all have their personal name on it and some personal information in there if you need it. The automated emails can be triggered by specific site visitor action. And these are things such as signing up for a property deals newsletter, for instance, or downloading a property investment guide. Because when they download the guide, they need to put their details in. So their name, their email, telephone number, that sort of thing. And straight away, once they've hit the submit button, you can send them an email and deliver what you promised. And that's automated. So you don't have to worry about it. Your site does it. And this is one of the big things about automation, is that what it does is it allows you to have more time to do things. You don't have to respond yourself to any requests. It automatically does it for you. The system does it for you, which basically means you can just get on with your life and let the funnel or the sales funnel, the website that you have, do the work. That's really the whole point of it. But it can also work on things like if someone books a call with you. So if you have a call booking app, if someone books a call with you, it will automatically send emails out saying, congratulations, you booked a call with us, and then they can send out reminders like a day beforehand or an hour beforehand as well. So make sure people turn up to the call. I use that in my business, and I do that with all my clients as well, because sometimes people forget they booked a call. But if you've got a little email sequence, an auto-responded email sequence, which comes out a day beforehand, so, don't forget tomorrow we've got a call, and then an hour beforehand, don't forget we've got a call in an hour, more people turn up. So that's a use of auto-responders as well. Or requesting more information about a property deal. So you might have a page in your site with a brand new deal that you put in, whether it's a land deal or a new HMO that you're doing. And you might want to give information to your investors about that. And so you could have a little form on there. They put their name, their email, telephone number in, and it sends them the information. So you don't have to worry about being behind the computer sending this stuff off. It's all automated, which is the whole point of it. So that's site-specific or customer-specific automation. But it can also be triggered by internal actions as well. And this is things like something within automation. So if you have an automation set up, at some point in that automation, you might want to send an email to the client. So if they're taking certain actions through the automation and they get to a certain point, it will send an email out. Again, you don't have to worry about being around. If you set the automation up, it will automatically do it. But it can also be triggered from a pipeline action as well, which I'm going to go through. I'm going to show you an example of how we do that with our clients, which makes it really, really powerful. It's actually really, really powerful to do this. So let's have a look at email autoresponders in action, and a sort of a typical way an autoresponder would work. We have a website here, one of our clients' websites, and as you can see, they've got a download our welcome investor pack. This is a call to action on the actual site, and when people click on that button, it opens up a form, and this is the form where people put their details in to receive that initial investor pack. Once they put their name, email, telephone number in that and hit the download button, it goes through to a page which says, thanks for downloading. But they also get two other things. They get one other thing. They get an email which is auto responding to that request, and the email comes in, and it's just like this. It's just a very, very small, very light email. It doesn't have to be a lot of information on that, but it just says, you should have been taken to a page where you can download the guide. If for some reason you didn't, then just click on the button below and you can get instant access there. So you click on that button and it goes through to another page where they can actually just download the guide. And this is just a PDF document with your information in there, who you are, what you do, how you work with your clients, that sort of stuff. And again, you don't have to be around. All this happens in the background automatically. So it's all done on autopilot, basically. But this is the normal use of autoresponders. But one of the things we've done with our clients is we know that motivated seller declined offers are worth a fortune, because when you're in a process, if you're doing sort of deal sourcing, for instance, and you've got a motivated seller site and people are putting their details in, at some point they'll probably decline your offer. That happens all the time. It used to happen to me when I was doing this. And so the idea is those declined offers, you really, really want to follow up, because, motivation over time, if they haven't sold their property, they were interested in selling it to you, but they declined it. Maybe they thought they could get a better deal on the market, or, they can get a better deal somewhere else, that sort of thing. So they decline your offer. And the way we work with this is within our system, we have a pipeline. And within this system, we have a couple of different pipelines, the investor leads pipeline and the vendor pipeline. The vendor pipeline goes to a motivated seller site. If someone fills their details in with their name and their property, the name, email, telephone number, and property, it comes straight into the pipeline. And when someone comes into the pipeline, you will obviously go and call the vendor. So you'll get an email saying that someone's filled the details in, give them a call in 24 to 48 hours. So you do that. And when you do that, all the information comes into the database. But when you call the vendor, you just push it into this section here. So you know exactly where you are in the process, the whole point of pipelines. And then when you offer, you send an offer to them, you put it into this part. And when you're talking to them, what I do is I put them into what we call vendor on hold. This basically means that this is all the people I'm talking to who have said they want to sell their property and I'm in discussion with. So these are all the people that I'm in discussion with at the time. And at some point, they're either going to accept your offer or decline your offer. And what normally happens is that if someone declines the offer, you think, okay, I think I better follow them up. So you put it into a notebook or something, put the phone number in, and you might give them a call every so often. In reality, that very, very rarely happens. You normally want to just get on with your life and go and find more deals. So declined offers tend to fall by the wayside, but you know as well as I do that this motivation over time kicks in, and if they haven't sold their property, they're going to get more desperate. So you really want an automated follow-up system. So the way we do this is that if someone declines the offer, if someone accepts the offer, you just put it into this part here, and that will send an email to them automatically, again, an auto-responded email. We'll send an automated email saying, fantastic, you've accepted our offer. These are our next steps. So it's just one email that goes out. But the other side of this is if they decline the offer and you push it into this part of the pipeline, you can just get on with your life and not worry about this anymore, because the system will just take over and it will send out a number of emails, which are follow-up emails. So you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about declined offers. You don't have to worry about following people up. The system will follow up for you. And this is where autoresponders really, really start coming into play. And what you'll actually send them is a few emails. It doesn't have to be a huge amount. And I'm just going to go through the sort of process of the emails and the timings that go through that. So once you put it into that, straight away, they will get an email which looks just like this. And this is an immediate email. So you've just put it into the pipeline, declined, the offer's been declined, and straight away this email will go out. And it's just really simple email, just a quick email to confirm that you declined our offer and to say we completely understand. This is about being nice and being a good company. We completely understand. If you change your mind at any time, please consider us, and I wish you luck in the future. If you need to get hold of us anytime, give us a call directly on this number. So it's a very, very nice email. And it's like, yeah, okay, we decline your offer. We completely understand. But if you ever need us, we're here for you. That's the idea of the email. But then the system will send out another email. This goes out 14 days after that first one. So a couple of weeks. And it says a couple of weeks ago, we gave you an offer on, and you can actually put the address of the property, so you can pull that in from the database, and you can put that in there, which we know you declined. This is just a quick follow up to see if you've sold the property. If the property is still on the market, we'd still love to revisit the offer. If that sounds good, you give me a call. Look forward to hearing you. Put your name. So that goes out. So really, the system is just following this up automatically. But it feels like, the way you write these emails is as if you just like sat down and thought, oh, I better just email them, see if they're okay. And you write these emails as if you're writing to them. So that's the one that goes out 14 days later. Another one goes out 30 days after that. So, and this one just says, we spoke a while back about a property and made an offer which you declined. This is just a quick follow-up to see if you managed to sell the property. If the property is still on the market, we'd love to revisit the offer. That sounds good. Give us a call. Again, it's just a really nice, simple email. It sounds like you care, but you're going off and doing something completely different. You're going off trying to find new property. The system's just doing this all in the background. So that's 30 days after that last email. And then after another 90 days. So you wait 3 months. You can put other ones in, but this is the flow that we use, and it seems to work. It actually gets more deals coming in. So this one, it just goes out, and after 30 days, and it says, sorry, couldn't help you sell your property at the time. We pride ourselves in our service, and we've helped lots of people over the last 6 years. And I want to drop your line to see if you want to sell your property. So again, whatever you decide, we're here to help. Feel free to call us, and then your phone number again. And that's really all it is. It's just like some nice follow-up emails that just make people feel as if you actually do think about them, but really all that's happening is the autoresponders actually working in the background and following this up. And we know that clients, every so often, they'll get an email back and says, look, we haven't been able to sell it, we'd like to revisit it. And so those deals get resurrected again. And that's why, these motivated seller deals, these declined offers, can be worth good money, because if you don't follow them up, and to be honest, a lot of people don't, when they get an offer declined, they don't really follow them up. And if they do, it's sporadic. And with this, it just means that every single declined offer is followed up in a professional manner and on autopilot, and you don't have to worry about it.
I think it's fair to say, Andy, isn't it, that a lot of deals when we're doing, it's very rare that you would contact a customer and they are ready there and then to sell a property.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would go into a follow-up type sequence. And you've set this sequence up, Andy, which people can use. I'm guessing that these are pre-programmed emails, so they are going out, or you've written them. They're not writing them fresh every time. You write them, they're in the system, and everyone would get the same email, except the name would change, the property address would change. And then when somebody responds, Andy, how then do you stop that email sequence from firing, oh, we contacted you 14 days ago? How would you move it out of that follow-up sequence into a different type of sequence?
The way the system works is, if I just share my screen again, within here, this contact in here is the one we put into the vendor offer declined part of our pipeline. If they accept the offer, they phone you up and they say, yeah, I really want to sort of go ahead with it. You literally just put them into vendor offer accepted. And what we've done within the automation is that within the automation, you can stop a sequence, an email sequence, to start a new one. So what would happen in here is it will send them the email which says, fantastic, you've accepted the offer, this is what we're going to do, and it will automatically stop the other sequence. So again, you don't have to worry about sending emails that are now irrelevant, because the email gets stopped within the automation. So all this is, this is really carefully set up. We have to, do this really, really well, and a lot of thought's gone in. It's like 3.5 months to build this whole thing. So, we've really thought of everything we can possibly think of to make it work really, really well, and make it work in a way that is logical to the people at the other end, the client base. So that's a really simple way of doing it. And if they do just respond via email, because of the way this is all set up, we have this as well. This is like a little app that goes onto the phone, and all the messages. So anybody emails from, does a return email to that. All these messages go into an app on your phone. So this actually collects other information, things that could be anything from, phone calls that come in through it, or things that come in through social media as well, so, but it's called a lead connector app. It's our lead connector app, which we provide to our clients as well. Just means that if anybody does, email you back and say, yes, I'm interested again, it will come straight into here, straight into your phone. You'll get a notification. So, the idea is to try and make it as simple as possible, and using automation just to make your life easier, so you can go off and do the job you need to do, and let the systems that you're employing do their job. Let them do the hard work, let the system do the hard work, and it just makes it so much easier for you. And that's what automation is all about. That's what the autoresponders are basically about. It's just doing the automation for you, so you can set a lot of things up, and all you got to do is one time think about, what do I want to say to my client at what stage? And the declined offer email sequence is a perfect example of just thinking ahead and thinking, if they decline offer, what would I want to send out to them? If I was like really, really on the ball, what would I really want to send to them? And so you can say, send an email out immediately, another one after 14 days, another one after another 30 days, and another one in 3 months' time. Because that some people do have a little bit of time. They really want to sell the property quick, but it might be in a probate property. It might be property in a will, and they wanted to just sell it, and they thought, if I can just get rid of this, I can get the money as quickly as possible and go and do something else. I can pay my mortgage off, or pay, do those things to become financially, a lot better off. But they're not massively motivated. They're not going, I've got to sell it this week, but they just want to get rid of it. So they may decline the offer because they may think they can get it on a better price on the market, but they know that they're going to have to go through 6 months of selling the property. This way, you keep on just keeping top of mind with them.
Yeah.
And they just go, look, let's just go with these guys. I know it wasn't as much, but it's going to take us ages to do that, and they're going to buy it straight away, and we don't have to clean it up. They're going to buy it anyway because they're going to refurb it or something. So there's a lot of advantages. When you're doing motivated seller sales or leads, and you're buying those properties, you're actually providing a really quite a cool service. So you talk about speed and certainty. That's a really big factor. But there's lots of little advantages that mount up over time, and if you've got these follow-up sequences going out, people will go and say, I think let's just go with these guys. They're going to buy it tomorrow. They're going to give me an offer. They're going to buy it. So that sequence, that follow-up sequence, really does make a huge difference, and it means you don't have to worry about it anymore. You can get on with your life, go and find more deals, and let the sequence just work in the back end.
Yeah, without doubt, you have to keep your name in front of the clients. And of course, while the clients are going through the turmoil, how am I going to sell? What am I going to do? The fact you're keeping your name in front with these automated systems is a useful thing. There's loads of money in the follow-up. We all know that. But the fact that we can actually automate this system, Andy, which then frees up our time to go and find some more leads, it means that we're getting more out of our time. We're sort of leveraging things better, aren't we?
Yeah, and also, if you think about it, the reality is that you forget. there might be a number of these leads that you've spoken to someone and they've said, no, I think I'll try and get it on the market and that sort of thing, and you go, okay, that's not a problem. Okay, then you try and get on with that. You might write down, you might have a little book, write down these people, these are the declined leads, I really need to follow these up. But life takes over, and then a few months later you think, oh yeah, maybe it's a bit late to phone these people up now. Well, if you just set it up as an autoresponder, you just have to, you don't have to worry about it. You can forget it. I mean, you can phone them up and things like that every so often, but just let the system do all the hard work. Let the autoresponders follow those people up, and some of them will come back into the fold because they become motivated. The motivation goes up over time, so they might feel that I've got to get rid of this in 3 months. Maybe I might be able to get something a bit better. I might get a better deal somewhere. But when the 3 months is coming up, and your email pops in,
yeah,
it works really, really well.
Something else, Andy, if that's okay, because these autoresponders are very smart, very clever, inserting the names, inserting the address, inserting various bits and pieces, make it very relevant to that customer on what is just a template. Do you feel that we ought to be sending out these autoresponder emails, making people thinking we're awake, we're alive, and we're sending you back instantly, so it's a real person doing it? Or are you happy to let the client realize that it's an automated system sending it out?
Oh, most people understand that if they download something, and most people have downloaded things from websites and they know that it's an automated email. But I think the secret of it is to make it feel like you've just written it. So when you're setting up these sequences, do it as if it's an email that's coming from you. I mean, the concept of email is actually an interesting subject in its own right. I see a lot of people doing these really, really posh emails with loads of graphics and things like that. I much prefer just text emails in an automated sequence. And when I'm actually writing my automated sequence, I do this with my clients quite a lot. We actually write sequences together. What we try and do is to make it feel like it's written by the human being. So that human being probably wouldn't be putting in loads of graphics and making it all nice and all corporate. But people sort of expect that it's going to be some sort of auto-responded one. But if you can do them so they just look really, really natural, then I think people respond to those much better. They feel like they are getting written to by someone, and that's really the secret of doing emails. Don't make them too corporate and too flashy.
No, and of course they're very time efficient as well, which is useful and very simple to set up then, Andy.
Yes, I think the hardest part, the tech side of it is pretty simple to do. The hardest part is actually putting yourself in the position where when you're writing these emails, you're writing it in a flow and you understand the time that's gone by and how someone would feel. This is all the psychology of marketing. As I've told you before, the way I look at this is that, with marketing, it's 80% psychology and 20% technology. Getting these sort of flows right is thinking about the psychology of the person who's going to receive those emails. So when you're writing a sequence of emails, I like to do it all in one go because it feels like I'm having like a narrated conversation with them. But it actually makes it, you've got to make it feel like it's a natural process. So if you're sending an email out immediately and then you've got another one going out after 14 days, understand that and put that in the email. That's why we put in the emails, a couple of weeks ago, and it sounds very conversational, but it sounds like, oh, a couple of weeks ago you did this. That makes a lot of difference, and it makes it feel like it's real and genuine and that you care. Yeah. And that's really what the perception that you want a client to have, especially when they're selling their home. You've got to remember, and you've said this on webinars, I've heard you say this, is that these people may have some problems, and you've got to be respondent to those problems. They may be in a dire situation. You've got to be sympathetic to that. So when you're writing these emails out, you just got to feel, what do I want my clients to feel about me? This is my brand I'm talking about. We can talk about brand as well, but this is my brand. Branding is more about how you deal with your clients and how people perceive you as a business. So, always be sort of, respectful and just, but make it feel like you're actually writing to them. And I think that just makes a lot of difference. It's not just a corporate email going, do you still want to sell your property? So you can put this stuff into those emails, which is part of your brand and how you want to be perceived by clients.
And of course, we were getting a handful of leads in every week, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 leads coming in. But those, of course, going into your pipeline will mean you maybe got dozens of ones to follow up. So automating that system procedure makes it very smart, time-wise, to be able to do it and have them in different phases of follow-up, depending on when they came into your system. It really is a very clever way of doing it. Anything to summarize here then, Andy, about autoresponders?
Only that, it's a great tool to use. It can help you to free up your time. You can let the system do the hard work. And let's face it, most of the time, most people don't want to keep on sitting behind a computer writing emails and working out who's where in a how many weeks ago they declined the offer and what they were doing at the time. Most of the time you just want to go out and go and do the business, or go to the cinema. The whole point of having this business like this is it frees up time. So just let the system do the hard work, and just think about it once and set it up once. And it's a set and forget. You don't have to worry about it anymore. Just put it up in the pipeline. It sends triggers those automations out, and you just don't have to worry about it anymore. But it actually makes you more professional. It means you follow up every single one without even doing anything. It just does it for you.
And as usual, Andy, you've written a little helpful guide to setting up your email autoresponders. That's somewhere in this video, isn't it?
Yep. Again, I will just get that up on screen to show you that. I just need to get it on my computer. I've got to juggle so many things about when I'm doing this. so many different screens and putting presentations up that I get confused very often. I'm a bear with a very small brain, so I've got to think about what I'm doing sometimes. So basically we got this one. This is how to use email autoresponders for your business, and again I just go into why an email autoresponder. And there's lots of information on this, and talk about email autoresponders in action, but it's all about lead nurturing, personalization, efficiency and consistency, and segmentation. And I go into a lot more detail in the article, but just download it. And the idea of a lot of this stuff, as I said a couple of weeks ago, was just start getting interested in this. Start getting to understand some of these things and some of the jargon and what these technical things can do for you, and how they can free up some time for you as well. But just make you more professional without even thinking about it. It just makes you more professional. Just using pipelines and CRMs and making sure that you've got autoresponders worked out just makes you more professional without even thinking about it. You can get on and build a business. That's the whole point of this.
So do download your own guide then, how to use email autoresponders for your property business. The link is here close to this video. You'll be able to download your own copy of that. This is in our series, of course, of Property Marketing Live with Andy Phillips and Andy Haynes. What are we going to be covering in the next edition, Andy?
Well, I'm actually going to do something about, I mentioned it today, but something about branding, because a lot of businesses need to have an idea of what branding actually means, rather than what a lot of people think it means. A lot of people think it means logos and color schemes and things like that, and that's part of building a brand. But we're going to go into what branding actually is and how you can actually use branding to get more visible, build a reputation, build more authority, and really start getting some engagement going on, because engagement is the biggest thing. So if we can build reputation, authority, visibility, engagement through branding, then you get to be seen by a lot more people, and people understand exactly who you are and what you stand for. So we're going to go through branding.
Brilliant. Well, thanks for sharing your knowledge with us today, Andy. And thanks to everyone for watching this video. We look forward to seeing you again on our next edition of Property Marketing Live. In the meantime, I'm Andy Haynes. He's Andy Phillips, and we'll see you soon. Bye, guys.
See you later. Bye-bye.